Well, all right, let's talk about what the hell went wrong with Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals here taking on the lowly Tennessee Titans, a team that everyone has beaten, and it looked like the Cardinals were going to do the same until they didn't. So let's talk about what went wrong. First, we have to talk about what went right? You can't blow a game if you never do anything right to get yourself up in the first place. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. in a one-on-one matchup on the outside. That is a good thing, right? Like, I know if you're a Cardinals fan, you're kind of throwing your hands up and saying, well, what do we have to do to win these games? But like, there are good aspects of this game, and getting Marvin Harrison Jr. going is very good. You see him with a one-on-one matchup, what you want your number one receiver to win on. Kyler Murray is going to take the snap. He sees one-on-one. Okay, let's put the ball up to Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, this is how the Cardinals have been playing this. They've kind of just been saying, we're going to trust that he will be the guy we drafted him to be, even if early on this season, it wasn't really working out that way. But watch this sort of back shoulder throw. Harrison Jr. adjusts really nicely to it. They're able to pick up a big completion. So, okay, like that's exactly what you want, right? And this was not his biggest play of the day. This one early on, you see, Kyler Murray runs a play action, rolls out, and is going to more or less just throw up a jump ball, really. First, you see, gonna have to throw this off balance. This is something that obviously we know Kyler can do, but it's still impressive. But watch him really just fire one into double coverage, and Marvin Harrison Jr. comes down if it was ruled down at the 1 yard line, but that's a spectacular play. And again, if you're getting these types of plays, that does change things. And you do wonder if that Thursday night game kind of was able to build some confidence for him. And early on in this game, you're thinking, here we go. Cardinals looking like what we thought the Cardinals could be entering this season again. And also something like this, Kyler Murray, I still think is having a nice season despite all of the disasters that are going on around him. Like, people are going to blame him because the team's losing, and that's just how football works, is everyone gives the quarterback credit when the team wins and blames the quarterback when the team loses. But like on this play, you see Kyler Murray takes a snap, doesn't love what he sees up the middle, but does love what he sees with an edge rusher. I don't know when edge rushers are going to realize you can't go with inside moves against Kyler Murray. Usually it's, if you do this, you have to be careful. You have to make sure you can get there quickly because the quarterback could get outside the pocket. Against Kyler Murray, you just can't do it, period. Like, it's just not the right play, because watch what he's going to do. Watch, that was a great move, but it doesn't matter because against Kyler Murray, it's not a great move. He's able to get to the outside, runs in for a touchdown. So again, he's just so deadly at that. He actively helps protect himself because there's certain pass rush moves you just can't run against the Cardinals because of this. So yeah, really good stuff to get them up 21-6. Over here, there was a play that should have gotten them up more than 21-6. So in their own territory, it's a 3rd down and 1. They're going to try and run for the first down, and the Titans are going all out to see if they can stuff the Cardinals here, which you kind of have to do. Down 15 points, you need a stop here. Well, you're going to see that that's actually not Kyler Murray. That was Jacoby Brissett who hands the ball off. Brissett played a little bit in this game, and paused it right here. Don't worry, things aren't broken, but, wide open, clearly going to be a touchdown, right? Well, no, watch as DeMarcado is going to drop the ball at the 1 yard line, and what he doesn't know is this was actually my fault. I started him in fantasy this week because I have my own running back injuries, so, it wouldn't have happened otherwise. That's the only reason, so, no blame for him. Okay, I'm kidding a little bit, but I do have to say, looking at the replay, I do not see a clear replay that shows that, remember, it was ruled on the field a touchdown. I do not see a clear replay that shows that he dropped the ball before crossing the goal line. Looks like it kind of started to get loose before the goal line, but I felt like he kind of still had possession while it was starting to get loose, if that makes sense. I don't know. That was a weird call, but ultimately, don't put yourself in position for something like this to happen. Again, run 5 yards into the end zone before you then, start to let up, right? That seems obvious. So while I didn't love this call, it never had to be put in the ref's hands if you just run into the back of the end zone. And that was a huge mistake. They could have been up 28-6. And heading over here, well, I certainly won't blame the loss on the play of Kyler Murray. There were a couple of you would love to have that early up that you didn't kind of think would matter. But this one, you have a tight end running a route trying to get into a gap in coverage over the middle. When this play begins, you're going to see that this works out very well. This is wide open, an opportunity to at least get in field goal range right off the bat here and just help kill some clock, even though it's still the second quarter. you're kind of thinking that way already, given the way this game is going. You see throw just a bit too far. Again, I'm not blaming this loss on Kyler Murray. Just a play or two there that gets heightened because they ultimately blew the game. But ultimately, like, again, this wasn't really his fault, although I guess one of the key plays of the game you could argue was his fault. So it's this play. It's a 3rd down and 12 situation. Again, up 15 points and can go up 3 scores here with a field goal late in the third. That does just change a lot of things. They're already in field goal range, 3rd down and 12, so you're not expecting a ton. And I don't really get how this happens. But watch as Kyler's going to say something. The ball surprises him and hits him. And not only with that, but it looked like, I guess, on the tackle, Kyler got banged up. It was weird because it didn't seem like a ton of contact. There was some contact on the tackle, though. I'm assuming that's what happened. He missed a series, and they weren't really able to do much on that series, partially because he wasn't out there. So because of that, not only were you not able to get points here, you weren't able to get points on your next series. That gave the Titans a little bit of time to start to claw their way back in it. Again, the defense has to still play defense. It's the Cardinals offense video, so I'm not touching on that. I probably will make a Cam Ward video at some point. But ultimately, the best way to avoid any come-from-behind losses, any blown leads, is to just make sure you keep scoring. And 28-3, the final score was 34-28, right? The Falcons never scored again. If they did, they probably win that Super Bowl. And also heading over here, I'm going to be critical of this situation. So with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game, the Titans only have 1 timeout. It's a 3rd down and 8. For the Cardinals, if you can get this first down, what does that mean? Well, the Titans will probably burn their last timeout. You'll get 1 play off before the 2-minute warning, 2 plays off after the 2-minute warning. The Titans are realistically looking at, like, after the length of the plays also and the punt and everything, 20-ish seconds deep in their own territory, needing a field goal to win, which, given the state of the Titans, feels like a tall task. But you see here, the Cardinals are just going to run the ball. And listen, maybe they liked what they saw. Maybe they saw something. I mean, we saw Tampa Bay earlier in the same day. They ran on like a 3rd and 7 in a somewhat similar situation, got the first down, and were able to ice the game and kick a game-winning field goal. So when it works, it's great. But I just don't love this call. I think Kyler, again, I don't know what the state of Kyler Murray's health is. If he wasn't feeling himself, then I guess I understand it. But as of right now, I have no reason to believe that to be true. So from that perspective, I just didn't love this decision. I feel like it was too cautious. And had they converted, then hey, it's another one of those like the Saints game or the Panthers game. It's like, got a little bit closer than you'd like, but hey, a win is a win. But to be honest, they kept doing this. In the Saints game and the Panthers game, they were up in those games and just weren't able to stick the dagger into their opponent, and they made mistakes. In that Panthers game, they made mistakes to get the Panthers back in it. In this game, they made mistakes that got the Titans back in it, and this time they weren't able to hold on at the end. So yeah, tough loss for the Cardinals, and they just have to stop making these mistakes. Again, I'll make a video about Cam Ward and the other side of the ball at some point, but offensively, they're making too many mistakes, and you can't make the playoffs doing that. And I do think this team is talented enough to make the playoffs. It's just they're not playing good football right now. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.